The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, let's make love.
Pictures presents Mia Farrow in a William Castle production, Rosemary's Baby, co-starring John Cassavetes, Ruth Gordon, Sidney Blackmer, Morris Evans, and Ralph Bellamy, written for the screen and directed by Roman Polanski, from the best-selling novel by Ira Levin, suggested for mature audiences.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm co-host Kyle.
Kyle. Today we are going to be talking about a very interesting movie, to say the least.
Interesting is the word, Jimbo. That's a provocative word.
Yes, this will be episode 146 on Rosemary's Baby. Mm-hmm. But Kyle, before we get started, I have a question for you.
Okay, Jimbo. I am ready for any question related to Rosemary's Baby.
Are you?
Surely, yes. Who wouldn't be?
Kyle, if you were tasked to give birth to the Antichrist. No. You said any question.
Yeah, just right in there, Jimbo. Straight to the point.
No, I thought I'd make a little joke.
We've all been there.
I thought I'd make a little joke there at the beginning because this is a heavy movie. I wasn't going to give Kyle a question on this because This is obviously a Roman Polanski film, and we know what kind of person he turned out to be. So
very bad history there. Look it up yourselves.
Yeah. So we don't want to dive too much in there. So I figured this is going to be probably a little bit longer episode. If not longer, it will be a heavy-hitting episode because there's some stuff uncovered in this movie that's just not fun to talk about.
The seriousness of the topics are a little bit not entirely outside of our wheelhouse. We've covered obviously heavy topic movies.
Before, and I will put this trigger warning in here at the beginning. This movie deals with rape, it plain and simple.
Yeah, it does, and also
maybe some sex trafficking involved too, if you will.
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't watched films before for this podcast. I haven't dealt with those heavy topics, but this is the first film that covers these heavy topics and has both an incredibly problematic director as well as possibly problematic, things going on with the production as well. So, this film has a heavy mixture of bad on bad, serious topics and kind of bad stuff going around it.
Well, not only that, but the thing about this movie is before you realize what's going on, it's kind of like a real-world scenario.
Yeah,
that's the problem with this movie.
The film plays out very realistically.
Right.
How you think people would act if they believed these things.
And although this is considered a horror movie, somebody said in my notes, and we'll get to it, about this is the probably one of the horror movies that has no horror in it. Which is really weird. So, but let's go ahead and dive into it, Kyle, so get started.
Yeah, dive right into it. So, Rosemary's Baby, released on June 12th of 1968. So, actually, almost exactly 45 years after its initial release date. Actually, we're recording this. Just occurred to me right now.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy coincidence. I just realized reading it right now. Directed by Roman Polanski, who we've done before, terrible history there, and a living person who's escaped his crimes and conviction, which is incredibly bad. Writers were Ira Levin for the original novel this film was based on, and Roman Polanski was adapted for the screenplay. Composed by Christopher Comita. Cinematographer was William A. Fraker. Or Fraker, I believe it actually. The Fraker would be the name there, for hopefully a proper pronunciation, although I've known to mess it up on occasion. Quick little plot summary of the film. Delirious of starting a family, a young Catholic homemaker, Rosemary Woodhouse, and her struggling actor husband, Guy, move into the Bradford, a New York City's iconic building brimming with unpleasant stories of obscure dwellers and ghastly occurrences. And before long, the eccentric next-door neighbors, Roman and Minnie Cassavet, befriend the young couple. Shortly afterwards, Rosemary gets pregnant. However, as the inexperienced mother becomes systematically cut off from her circle of friends, alarming hints of a sinister, well-planned conspiracy start to emerge, enfolding and timid Rosemary in a shroud of suspicion and mental agony. But why is everyone so conveniently eager to help? Above all, why is Guy, her husband, allowing it all to happen to her? So that's kind of a quick little plot summary going on there, and it's all about kind of that suspense and that distrust of everyone around you, and it's horrifying on that level to be considered a horror movie for sure. Moving on to the budget of the film. We don't have any gross earnings. We do have the budget of $2.3 million in 1968, which would be roughly the equivalent of $20 million in today's currency right there. So made for an incredibly modest budget, especially for a New York development film. Even in 1968, that's an incredibly cheap film even for the era. So really impressive what they accomplished there. Of course, they only had the film that's basically 3 rooms for the most part. Moving on here, I'm going to go to the awards of the film, which there are quite a few. About half wins, half nominations here, and I'm going to go through all of them because I have the time for it, and I think I can get some good coverage there.
Hey, Kyle, the box office for Rosemary's Baby was $33.4 million.
33 point what?
$0.4 million.
0.4. So that'd be equivalent of, $33.4 million would be roughly 10x what it'd be today. So that'd be about $340 million roughly. So impressive earnings there for sure. Huge earner in that case then. So, wow. No wonder Roman Polanski made his name on this film alone, basically. Moving on to the awards here. We have, in 2020, it was added to the Film Hall of Fame for the Online Film and Television Association. In 2014, it was added to the National Film Preservation Board for the National Film Registry. In 1970, it was nominated for a BAFTA Award for Best Actress to Mia Farrow. In 1970, for the Photograms de Plata Award, it won the Best Foreign Movie Performer, awarded to Mia Farrow. In 1970, it won the Critics Award for Best Foreign Film, awarded to Roman Polanski for the French Syndicate of Cinema Critics. In 1969, it was nominated for the Oscar for Best Writing or Screenplay based on material from another medium to Roman Polanski, and it won the Oscar for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for the Academy Awards to Ruth Gordon. Then also in 1969, for the David D. Donatello Awards, it won the Best Foreign Actress to Mia Farrow, and won the Best Foreign Director to Roman Polanski. 1969, for the Directors Guild of America Awards, it was nominated for an Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures. In 1969, it was also nominated for the Edgar Allan Poe Award for Best Motion Picture. Then in 1969, where it was nominated for the Best Actress to Mia Farrow, Best Screenplay to Roman Polanski, and Best Original Score to Christopher Comita. And it won the Best Supporting Actress Award to Ruth Gordon. Then in 1969, also it was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. Then also in 1969, for the Photoplay Awards, it won the gold medal for Favorite Motion Picture to Roman Polanski. And then in 1969, it had the Writers Guild of America nomination for Best Written American Drama. Then in 1968, it had the Kansas City Film Critics Circle Awards, where it won Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor to Sidney Blackmer, and Best Supporting Actress to Ruth Gordon. And then finally, in 1968, for the Laurel Awards, it took second place for drama, third place for female supporting performance to Ruth Gordon, and second place for female dramatic performance to Mia Farrow. And that is the awards of the film right there.
You know what? They said that Mia Farrow did not get nominated for an Oscar. And they said it's still one of the biggest snubs in the history of the Oscars or whatever.
I don't know what won that year, but yeah, Mia Farrow definitely...
No, she wasn't even nominated.
Not even nominated is
right.
Kind of a travesty, because she was definitely putting her all into this performance, and you really believe the...
trauma she's going through.
Yeah, the absolute, horrific, world state she's kind of in, the mental anguish and agony she's in throughout the entire film. It is tough to watch on that level. This whole film's kind of tough to watch on that level, in a way that is intentional and I respect. And
I think it's the way it was shot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This is all...
as bad of a person that Roman Polanski was, is...
he can sure shoot a movie.
Shoot some movies. I'm not going to.
It's one of the most conflicting things in the world to say. It's like, man, that guy sure did a lot of really, really awful things that I don't even want to mention they're that bad. But he can sure make a movie. It's awful to say that and be sincere. It's awful. Absolutely awful.
I can't take nothing away from his directing, man.
And nor do his films make up for any of the horrible things he did. He's still an awful person. He should still face punishment for his crimes. That is absolutely true in my mindset. We in no way are ignoring that fact. Or condoning his actions. Okay, moving on. Technical details of the film. This film has a runtime of 137 minutes. This has a mono sound mix, so just one directional audio cast right there. This is a color film in original Technicolor. Aspect ratio is 1.85 by 1. Laboratory was the Technicolor in Hollywood, California. And the film length is 3,724 meters long. Some of the other fun facts of the film. Filming locations. This actually was filmed largely on location in Manhattan, New York City, in the Time Life building. And also, of course, the actual street shots were taken in New York as well. And this is not a film where you could do CGI, something like that, and fake it. And there was also some other shots made in Los Angeles, California, and at Paramount Studios for the internal sets, I'm sure. Filming dates. This was filmed between August 21st, 1967 to December 20th to 1967 there. So, actually pretty relatively long shooting schedule, considering kind of how limited the production seemed to be in the final film itself.
Yeah, but they said that the original cut was over 4 hours long.
Oh, wow, then. So, yeah, they definitely... So he definitely
They said Roman Polanski, he didn't know what to cut out, so he hired somebody else he said, you need to cut this down, so the guy cut it down.
That makes sense, I'm sure, because...
Can you imagine sitting through 4 hours of this movie, though?
Yeah. Well, specifically in this film,
if you were feeling uncomfortable already in this movie, how much worse could it have been?
Yeah. Well, specifically when, you're trying to establish that kind of, mood of dwelling in scenarios you don't want to be in, it's hard to decide how much you cut down without destroying that entire intention you have, so I'm sure that's... Again, props to Roman Polanski for recognizing his difficulty with that and hiring someone else to take care of it for him. Moving on to the cast of the film, we of course have Mia Farrow playing the role of Rosemary Woodhouse, the main character star. Mia Farrow was also in the film The Purple Rose of Cairo in 1985 and The Great Gatsby in 1974. And most recently, she's on the Netflix show The Watcher since 2022. And I don't know if they have a new season in 2023 or not, but that's a current show on Netflix where she's starring in. Next up, we have John Cassavetes playing the character of Guy Woodhouse, Mia Farrow's husband in the film. John was also in the films Love Streams in 1984, The Dirty Dozen in 1967, and Gloria in 1980. Next up, we have Ruth Gordon playing Minnie Castevet. Ruth Gordon was also in the movie Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood in 1978, and Harold and Maude in 1971. I don't know.
That movie, yeah. If you ever want to see something crazy, look up the trailer for Harold and Maude, and it is... I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what the movie's about by watching it.
I've never taken an acid trip, but I think that trailer is as close as I'm ever going to get to it. It was just a very confusing trailer. I have no idea the quality of the film itself, but it was an interesting look.
Only rated PG, though.
Only rated PG, because surely that has to be a mistake or something. I don't know. Next up, we have Sidney Blackmer playing the character of Roman Castevet. Sidney Blackmer was also in the film High Society in 1956 and Deluge in 1933. Next up, we have Maurice Evans playing the character of Hutch. Maurice Evans was also in the film Planet of the Apes in that same year, 1968, and I believe he's also in the sequel. And I always forget the order of the name of the sequel. Return to the Planet of the Apes. Yes, okay. He was also
Beneath
in that
the Planet of the Apes. Right?
Yeah. Oh, what's up beneath? I don't remember.
That's where they're underground. Remember?
The nuclear bomb thing. It's psychics. Weird movie. Weird series. That's our other podcast.
No, it's our podcast.
It is, but it's also the other. Yeah.
Speaking of that, we'll have another one coming out soon
in the next few weeks. Yes, should be exciting. Look forward to that. And Maurice Evans was also in the film The Warlord in 1965. Next up, we have Ralph Bellamy playing the character of Dr. Saperstein. Ralph Bellamy was also in the film His Girl Friday in 1940, Trading Places in 1983, and Pretty Woman in 1990, a film we covered in this very podcast. Next up, we have Victoria Vetro playing the character of Terry. Victoria Vetro was also in the film When the Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth in 1970. And also she was in Invasion of the Bee Girls in 1965. I didn't write out the year there, so I might be off there. But Invasion of the Bee Girls, that's a terrible movie. And I watched it on Amazon Prime years ago. And it's all about these women who seduce men to death. That's all it was weird. Next up, we have Patsy Kelly. Patsy Kelly playing the character of Lori Louise. Patsy was also in the film Nobody's Baby in 1973. In contrast to Rosemary's Baby. No, it's Nobody's Baby this time. And she was also in The Naked Kiss in 1964. Then next up, we have Elijah Cook Jr. playing the character of Mr. Nicholas. Elijah Cook was also in the film House on Haunted Hill in 1959 and The Maltese Falcon in 1941. You know, the first time I read The Maltese Falcon as a child, I thought, like, oh, so it has to do with the Star Wars thing? It's like, no, Maltese is not Millennium. I was 8. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just surprised you actually read it.
Yeah, the fact that I realized as an adult that Maltese and Millennium were not the same word. I'm a genius. Next up, we have Emmeline Henry playing the character of Elise Dunstan. Emmeline Henry was also in the show I Dream of Jeannie from 1965 to 1970, and she was in the film Lucky Me in 1954. Next up, we have Charles Grodin playing the character of Dr. Hill. Charles Grodin was also in the film Midnight Run in 1988, and he was also in the movie Beethoven from 1992 and Beethoven 2, the one about the dogs. I've never seen that series.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen the Beethoven movies. Have you?
Of course.
Are they good?
It's a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie. Okay.
They're all right.
It's a fine little kid's movie.
About the Big St. Bernard.
Big St. Bernard. Yeah, Beethoven.
No, Kyle thinks it's about Ludwig von Beethoven.
Yeah. Every time I see the poster of that dog, I just think I would never want to clean up after that dog because it's too big. It's too big of a dog. Next up, we have Hannah Landy playing the character of Grace Cardiff. Hannah Landy was also in the films Being There in 1979 and Convict Stage in 1965. Then we have Phil Leeds playing the character of Dr. Shand. Phil Leeds was also in the film Ghost in 1990, and He Said, She Said, and I believe that was in 85. Was there a knock on the door, Jimbo?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought I heard a knock on the door. Maybe I was crazy. Next up, we have Ervil Martin playing the character of Diego. I believe he was the elevator operator in the film. Ervil Martin was also in the film Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1967.
That's Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, but also another different actor. There's other black people in that movie.
No. I'm just saying that.
Oh,
Jeez, Kyle. And that's also Katharine Hepburn.
that was me being mistaken. I thought you were thinking, no, it was Sidney Poitier. It wasn't Ervil Martin. No, Ervil Martin was also in the. Yeah, it was Sidney Poitier.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Sidney Poitier. Yeah, that was his.
Yeah.
That's his big film. That and The Heat of the Night, which we covered in this film. We never done Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Probably is a good film. I watched it. It's a good film. Next up, we have, and also he was in Dolomite in 1975. And he was also in the Legend of Black Charlie. Yeah. Next up, we have Hope Summers playing the character of Mrs. Gilmore. Hope Summers was also in the film Inherent of the Wind of 1960, and The Coach. That's right, The Couch. Sorry, The Couch.
Wow.
Dyslexia is fun, folks. The Couch in 1962. And that finishes up the cast list of Rosemary's Baby, so we can dive into more of the trivia of the film.
Well,
Jimbo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
it's not just trivia of the film. This is one of those movies that it's based on a book, so...
We have comparisons, contrasts, what's different.
I tried to stay away from the book as much as I could, so... but there is a popular belief that Alfred Hitchcock was offered the role to direct this movie, but they said that he was never approached about it. But I think he could have pulled it off. I think it would have been amazing.
I don't even...
I could see him playing himself as like the doctor or something,
I would. I would interesting to see. Yeah, I would really like to see Hitchcock's take on those kind of films, especially that subject matter is a little bit out of his wheelhouse, but at the same time, like the way it's kind of like, the way its rhythm kind of goes in the film from scene to scene, like it has a lot of Hitchcockian vibes that I think like you would have done really well with.
Right. Yeah. Oscar-nominated editor Sam Osteen would later direct the sequel, Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby. And for those of you that don't know, there is a sequel to this movie. Well, I call it a sequel, but it was a made-for-TV movie that was only shown once, I think, on TV.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube, I think, the whole movie, and it looks terrible, so I'm sure Kyle'll probably pull it up and watch it here pretty soon.
I gotta pull up the IMDb description because it was really, really funny just how the way they phrased it. Rosemary's Baby. Having been adopted by the madam of a southwestern brothel, a now adult Adrian must cope with the fact that he's Satan's kid and not living up to his expectations.
I mean, not that
the idea that he should be living up to Satan's expectations.
Well, I mean, this ain't having
or that he's a stern father figure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or that Satan's a stern father figure in his life. You listen, you need to do bad things, kid.
There is a heatedly disputed rumor that Sharon Tate appears unbilled at the party Rosemary gives for her young friends. Tate was Polanski's first choice to play Rosemary before Farrell was selected because he thought it would be unethical to cast her. Though Tate did visit the set a few times, it was Farrell's understudy, and she was Mia Farrow's understudy for this film. It's never been confirmed if she is indeed in the film as an extra and remains a famous urban legend.
That would be the least surprising. Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Sharon Tate was one of the victims of the Charles Manson's family. Terrible things that happened there. So
I believe actually married to Polanski at the time, or her house girlfriend. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Mia Farrow does the vocals on the title sequence "Lullaby." This is one of the probably one of the only horror films that has a waltz for like a
while
for the theme song.
Oh yeah,
so
highly unusual. Yeah,
right. William Castle acquired the movie rights to the novel. Robert Evans of Paramount agreed to greenlight the project if Castle did not direct. This was due to Castle's reputation as a director of low-budget horror films. He was, however, allowed to make a prominent cameo appearance, which we'll talk about here later. According to Mia Farrow, the scenes where Rosemary walks in front of traffic were spontaneous and genuine. Roman Polanski is reported to have her told that nobody will hit a pregnant woman. The scene was successfully shot with Farrell walking into real traffic and Polanski following, operating the handheld camera since he was the only one willing to do it.
Oh my gosh. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know. What is wrong? We know it's wrong. What is... You're a bad person, Roman Polanski.
Well, I mean,
Don't risk
spontaneous,
people's lives to film a shot like that. You don't need to do that.
you could die.
You can die. You can fake it a lot easier. That's the beauty of cinema. It's fake. No one has to die. That's the good part of.
This film, along with Repulsion and The Tenant, forms a loose trilogy by Roman Polanski about the horrors of apartment city dwellings. Casting for this film presented its own problems for Polanski. At first, he saw Rosemary as an all-American girl, and he saw Tuesday Weld for the lead, but she passed. Jane Fonda was then approached, but turned down the offer so she could make Barbarella in Europe with her husband, then husband Roger Vadim. According to his memoirs, Polanski for a while had the idea of having his future wife Sharon Tate, which we talked about, but decided not to because it would have been unethical. Other actresses considered for the part were Julie Christie, Elizabeth Hartman, and Joanna Pettet. Robert Evans suggested Mia Farrow based on her TV work and media appeal. At the time, she was, after all, Mrs. Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Both men wanted Robert Redford for the role of Guy Woodhouse, but negotiations broke down when Paramount's lawyers blundered by serving the actor with a subpoena over a contractual dispute regarding his pulling out of Silvio Narazzano's film Baloo. Other actors considered were, are you ready? Richard Chamberlain, Jack Nicholson, and James Fox. Lawrence Harvey begged to do it. Warren Beatty turned it down, claiming, "Hey, can't I play Rosemary?" Before the part was offered to John Cassavetes. For many in Roman Castevet, William Castle suggested Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontaine, the famous Broadway acting duo. He even tried to convince Polanski to let him play the part of Dr. Saperstein, a role eventually filled by Ralph Bellamy.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of interested for John Cassavetes to get the role. I would have been curious to see, I think Robert Redford would have difficulty with the role because he's such a... Even in his more darker roles, he's such a likable character in many respects.
But I think Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, what kind of movie would that have been? That would have been great.
Oh, that would have been very interesting to see for sure. But a very different film as well.
Jack Nicholson, he might be a little too evil looking.
Exactly, yeah. So you gotta ride that fine line of an actress you can probably loathe on screen, and then it's like the question is that good for your career afterwards? If you're known for being the guy who raped Satan into your wife?
Well, it's like right here. The very next note I had was, according to John Parker's recent biography of Jack Nicholson, Robert Evans suggested Nicholson to Roman Polanski, but after their meeting, the director stated that, quote, "For all his talent, his slightly sinister appearance ruled him out."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The two would work together a few years later on Chinatown, which we did cover.
That's the thing. I think Nicholson looks too cliche evil, and that's why he actually looks like a good guy. Actually, in many respects, he very rarely plays a bad guy. I mean, granted, he played Joker at one point, but still,
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over. Well, I wouldn't say...
No, he was just crazy in that, too. So, you know, The Shining.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those things where, he's cliche evil in some ways. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Jack Nicholson probably could have done it. I couldn't see Robert Redford doing it because it's Robert Redford. He's too handsome.
Mia Farrow actually ate raw liver for a scene in the movie, despite being a vegetarian at the time. And I don't know if I could eat raw liver. I don't know if I could eat cooked liver. You get in the right headspace for it, and you're just like, this is going to suck, but it's going to look great on film, and you do that, And I know my ears are already burning because I can hear Brett from The Evil Never Dies being like, "Oh, liver and onions.
I eat raw liver every day."
Yeah. Puts hair on your chest.
Exactly.
There's a cameo by William Castle. He was the man near the phone booth, and the film is the film's producer. So, Rosemary says to Terry Ginofrio, "I thought you were Victoria Vetri, the actress." To which Terry responds, "Everyone says that, but I don't see the resemblance. Victoria Vetri is Angela Dorian's real name." Hey, you look like that lady. Everybody says that, but it really was her. That's funny.
That's weird.
Entertainment Weekly voted this as the 10th scariest movie of all time.
That's a little bit there are moments that I consider uneasy and like genuinely terrifying, like, oh my gosh, like the moment where she actually locks herself out of the apartment from all the other guys after she gets taken from the hospital back to the house, and she gets on her phone. In the background you just see them walking past the doorway.
Yeah,
that's horrifying.
Scary.
And they don't do any kind of music playing or anything like that too, and it's like, oh my gosh, and it's played so nonchalantly. They don't even like move in a menacing way. They just kind of like sneak by the door, but not like in a creepy way at all. But that just horrifies me all the more, the fact of how real that felt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The movie poster was rated as number 21 of the 25 best movie posters ever by Premiere. In a scene where Rosemary is getting her blood drawn, which I don't like getting my blood drawn either, Rosemary tells the doctor that she just saw the off-Broadway show The Fantastics. In that play, the parental figures arrange a rape of the inguine, meaning in this case abduction from the Latin rapere rather than the sexual assault, by a dark devilish character named El Gallo. So a young man can save her, hoping that the young girl fall in love and the young man will marry him. So it's kind of interesting. It's very interesting the way Roman Polanski added this stuff, or even from the novel, added this stuff in there that ties together stuff that you wouldn't even know.
That's interesting. Yeah. Once like brilliant writing on his part. Any compliment just feels so bad to say anything.
Before the filming of the scene of Rosemary calling Donald Baumgart, the actor who in the story who goes mysteriously blind, which you come to find out it's
actually a curse.
Yeah. Mia Farrow did not know who would be speaking on the line of the phone. It was that of none other than Tony Curtis. And in the scene, Farrow shows slight confusion, unable to place a voice. This confusion was exactly the effect director Roman Polanski hoped to capture by having Curtis read the lines. So can you imagine me like, well, I don't remember seeing you in the script in the list of actors.
Pretty great too. And also, like, once again, like smart ending there to get a genuine reaction that's not harmful in any way, but that confusion adds to the uneasiness that Mia Farrow expresses throughout the entire film, and it's impressive. You know, gets you in her headspace.
You know what got me for this film is, there's trouble, but you can't pinpoint it,
Yeah.
And everybody's just so nonchalant to, you're going crazy. Well, maybe she is going crazy. You're thinking to yourself, you know what I mean? The whole movie.
Yeah, there's no, like, one moment where everything's going wrong. Like, where everything is like, this is the bad thing. It's all, like, accumulation of small details that all come together, like, no, you don't get it. Something's going terribly wrong, and you need to understand that. It's all just these little small things that give her a sense of unease and dread and the anguish, the confusion. And I really appreciate that in this film.
Ira Levin felt that this film is, quote, the single most faithful adaptation of a novel ever to come out of Hollywood. William Castle speculated the reasons for this were because it was the first time Roman Polanski had ever adapted another writer's work, unaware he had the freedom to improvise on the book. So, the phone booth scene was shot in one continuous, unbroken take.
That actually
there are several scenes in this that's continuous.
Continuous, yeah. And I think it adds the sense of, like,
realism, I think.
Yeah, it has the continuity of the thing. Like, it gives the impression that, like, scenes continue outside of you watching them. That, like, whenever the camera moves into their space, everything behind her is still going on, too. And that adds, once again, to, like, it can add a little bit to the unease and, like, the idea that things are scheming on around her that both the audience and Mia doesn't see throughout the entire film.
Right. So there, like we said, there are many shots in one continuous take, or unbroken, with minimal cuts in an unnoticeable way, such as the opening scene where Rosemary and Guy first tour their apartment, which was 2 cuts, the laundry room scene, which was only 1 cut, the let's have a baby scene, the New Year's Eve party, Rosemary's and Guy's argument after their party, Rosemary getting the unfortunate phone call about Hutch, the final scene at Dr. Sapien's office where she tells him of Adrian Marcato, Rosemary's phone call with Baumgart, and the famous phone booth scene. It's very interesting. This film features a cast member from Bewitched, Maurice Evans, and a cast member from I Dream of Jeannie, Emmeline Henry. Both programs feature protagonists that frequently indulge in witchcraft and magic. Burt Reynolds tested for the role of Guy Woodhouse.
Same problem with Robert Redford. He's just too handsome. Like, that's like Burt Reynolds. Who could be mad at Burt Reynolds? Oh, you gave me Satan's shout. You're Burt Reynolds, though. I still love you.
The vodka blush cocktail that Roman prepares for everybody is actually real, and it is normally served with sprigs of rosemary for garnish.
Oh, no. That's the title of the movie. That's the name of the character.
The film is closely associated with The Exorcist and The Omen. But whereas these movies both becoming big franchises with sequels and remakes and prequels, Rosemary's Baby had only one TV movie sequel, which was a bomb and fizzled out, getting terrible ratings and reviews and never to be shown again, shutting down any ideas of a franchise. Yeah. Kyle, would you like to see this become a franchise? Remade into a better franchise.
Remade into the...
We did see that there was that
2014 kind of like limited series remake with Zoe Saldana, which actually I kind of want to watch, but I don't know if I ever make time for it. But I'm going to check. I want to kind of check that out sometime. But the ideas in the story could definitely have legs to go forward, and like dealing with the consequences of what happens if you gave birth to the Antichrist is certainly interesting storytelling potential there for sure. So I could see some interesting stories being told there, but I don't know. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it, and I don't think I have a strong one for it either. Yeah, because it could be handled by hacks just as well as by geniuses.
Patty Duke auditioned for the role of Rosemary Woodhouse, but lost out to Mia Farrow. She did get to play Rosemary in the sequel, Look What Happened to Rosemary's Baby, which bombed. Adrian, a.k.a. Andy, is named after Adrian Mercado, Roman's father, an infamous Satan worshiper and witch. This should tell you something. This is one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite films, which Stanley Kubrick is another one of those guys that's his movies are out there.
And how he makes them is out there in so many respects, too. Yeah.
This film was for schlockmaster producer William Castle, who was known for its gimmicky fare like House on Haunted Hill and Smell-O-Vision, a bid for respectability. It was also a bid for respectability for Mia Farrow, who was well known for her work in TV, like Peyton Place, and for being Mrs. Frank Sinatra. In both cases, it worked. Rosemary's name is a reference to Mary, mother of Jesus. According to an article in The Wrap, Mia Farrow left Frank Sinatra to make this film. Sinatra pressured Farrow to quit the film as their marriage was suffering, and she was about to relent, but then Paramount executive Robert Evans showed her the dailies and said, Mia, you'll win an Oscar if you do this. That was all she needed to hear, and she soldiered on with the production. Several days later, Frank Sinatra served her divorce papers on the set of Rosemary's Baby. Farrow did not win the Oscar for her performance, however. In fact, she wasn't even nominated. She lost twice.
Sometimes I don't know how.
But hey, she did it her way.
And same time, not to make it too dark again, but knowing the history of Frank Sinatra and how he treated women, I don't know how. I don't think saying Frank Sinatra was a good idea, regardless of the movie.
The original cut ran over 4 hours. Polanski couldn't decide what to cut, so he let editor Samo Steen decide. Sam will later direct the sequel, Look What Happened to Rosemary's Baby. So, for all the good stuff he did here, we have to watch this. It is our duty to watch Look What Happened to Rosemary's Baby.
I would rather see whatever the 4-hour cut of this film is. I would be interested to see what that is.
Maybe it is Look What Happened to Rosemary's Baby. That it was just went all the way till he grew up.
Yeah, went all the way to the young adult child of Antichrist.
Like we said, this film is about a rape of a young woman. Roman Polanski himself was charged with the rape of a young woman. And I'm going to leave her name out of here just for
respect.
Yes. A woman who said Polanski plied her with drugs and alcohol and raped her when she was 13 years in Jack Nicholson's Beverly Hills home, unbeknownst to Nicholson, who was vacationing in Colorado at the time. So,
yeah. Terrible person. He then fled in the U.S.
William Castle was convinced that there was a Rosemary Baby's curse. He thought that Sharon Tate murders and a urinary tract infection and various other maladies and illnesses he suffered during this period were evidence of that. Ironically, the producers of The Exorcist and The Omen also thought their movies were cursed. Castle was so scared that the devil was out to get him during this period he remained in seclusion for several years. Yeah. William Castle said that he got hate mail from people who were very angry at him for bringing the devil back into the world. You can see product placement for the Yamaha Corporation...
The product placement for the Yamaha Corporation. This would be about giving birth to the Antichrist. Yamaha.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Wait, it gets better. In the movie where Guy appears at the Yamaha commercial, they repaid Roman Polanski by giving him and John Cassavetes free scooters for showcasing their products in the movie. They both would race around New York in the scooters with Mia Farrow riding on the back seat in the first few weeks of filming. They can't give them real motorcycles.
The most fun
scooters.
Story ever, though. Just riding around New York in scooters. Yeah.
Abe Saperstein is the name of the man who found the Harlem Globetrotters basketball team, but this film's surname is spelled Dr. Abe's in this is spelled a little differently, so it's not the same guy.
Different name. It's not the same guy who got the Globetrotters.
Tanis Root doesn't exist. Irie Levin made it up for the story. Like the letters of transit from Casablanca, it became an important plot element, but was entirely fictional. Roman Polanski tried to convince William Castle to play the part of Dr. Saperstein. One of the LA sets was used for a sequence in the Monkees movie.
The Monkees movie? I've never heard of that.
Hey, we're the Monkees?
No, this involves monkeys. Oh, it does. How about that?
The baby is due in this movie in June of '66, otherwise known as 666.
The devil's number.
And I do believe that the Omen remake came out of 06. And I believe I was at the theater that day with one of my friends. That was it's a creepy feeling. This movie is about rape. Ironically, Mia Farrow's son, Ronan Farrow, would years later blow the lid off rape culture in America with his incisive reports on sexual assault and harassment in corporate America, and particularly with the Harvey Weinstein case.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah, so it's really tied all together.
Okay.
And I had to pull up this movie as I was doing some of these notes, and because I wanted to make sure I could see this stuff. And some of the stuff in here, which I'm going to go into, like this next one, is so obscure you would never even see it on the. I didn't see it on the first take, and I'm sure Kyle didn't either. So at 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 25 seconds, during the telephone booth scene, Mia Farrow can be seen mouthing the numbers as she dials Dr. Hill's office on a rotary phone, specifically 4377. Well, 4377 turned upside down spells hell.
Oh, wow.
So it's just
double hop sticks. No.
It's just one of those things, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of just, once again, like, it ties everything together in, like, a thematic way that's really impressive filmmaking right there.
But that's why I pulled that up, and you can see her mouth in it, and I was like, man, that is, who pays attention to that close detail to notice this stuff?
Well, it's one of the things, like, if you shove in 100 details like that, someone's going to capture 1 or 3 of them.
And that also means you have to watch these movies multiple times to catch everything.
Exactly, yeah. Credit where credit's due. He made an incredibly dense film, which is incredibly impressive.
William Castle, the producer, said that working with Roman Polanski was a painful experience because the latter was a perfectionist who took several nights to shoot a simple scene that could have been taken in only a couple of hours. Polanski also shot scenes at lunchtime and rush hours just in the middle of Fifth Avenue in New York City. But Castle also admitted that Polanski was a brilliant filmmaker. This film is part of the Criterion Collection, Spine number 630. Richard Silbert, the production designer, called it the greatest horror film without any horror in it. This is interesting, too. The color yellow is used throughout this film, predominantly with regard to scenes including Rosemary, her husband Guy, and their apartment. On one hand, yellow stands for freshness, happiness, positivity, clarity, energy, optimism, enlightenment, remembrance, and intellect, honor, loyalty, and joy. But on the other, it represents cowardice and deceit. So,
and also I think like sometimes like the yellow used is kind of like almost it could be because of the way Technicolor kind of uses it, but yellow always kind of looks sickly to me in Technicolor, I guess.
Just because it's the color of mustard, and that's sick.
Yeah. I don't hate mustard, but it does.
Colonel Mustard.
Technicolor, like usually when I see yellow, it's like you either have like a vibrant gold yellow, or you have a yellow that's more mustardy and looks like dull and kind of like sickly almost. And that's why I kind of like rated in the film as Rosemary, like this almost like. It's almost like a pea soup vomit almost in a way. It's just like that kind of like on the color spectrum, just like this just looks
Rosemary has a Catholic calendar that marks Fridays with a fish to remind her not to eat meat. On their wall shelves, Guy puts Hutch's book about witches on top of 2 volumes of the famous Kinsey report on human sexuality, that's product placement, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Sure enough.
Guy's subversion to the dark side becomes subtly obvious right away after the very first night he meets Roman Castevet and tells Rosemary he wants to go back to hear more stories. At the end of the opening credits and later the spot where Terry dies, which was the lady that was basically the older couple had taken in.
A girl.
And which we'll talk about a little later. Was it suicide or was it
murder?
An overhead shot of the south entrance to the Dakota Apartments is shown. Its arched gateway is where John Lennon was shot to death in 1980.
Oh, geez. Wow, that's a sad and bizarre coincidence.
this was the final film for a lot of people. So it was the final film of Jane Crowley, Mona Knox, Eleanor Vogel, Pearl S. Cooper, and Jean Ennis. So there you go.
I guess, in many respects, they went off, critically on top,
Right.
Like, a lot of those older actors, they had incredibly long careers with a lot of other films, but none of them as iconic as Rosemary's Baby, I think.
Irie Levin, in a letter to Time magazine, claimed that he named the Bramford after Bram Stoker. There is a popular rumor that the Church of Satan founder Antoine LaVey gave technical advice and portrayed Satan in the impregnation scene. This is false. LaVey had no involvement with this film whatsoever. The devil costume that Antoine LaVey was falsely rumored to have worn in the impregnation scene was later reused in the film Asylum of Satan. A small woman had difficulty fitting into the tiny suit. Mia Farrow went on to play the nanny to the devil's child Damien in The Omen, in the remake of The Omen almost 40 years later. The film was released and coincided with the day 666, which I talked about. And I remember that she's like, "I did it for you, Damien. It's for you." And she jumps off the top of the balcony, I think, and hangs herself
I remember that trailer
at his birthday party.
I never actually watched the movie, but I've seen the trailer. Like, "I did it for you, Damien. Happy birthday!" And she jumps off like, "Haha, stupid."
It is also debated if Terry committed suicide or was murdered by the Castavets for not cooperating, which I asked this to Kyle before I even did the notes.
Yeah.
It is likely the latter, and they probably staged the scene to look like a suicide when it was actually a homicide because she wouldn't be their surrogate for the Antichrist. This is probably when they figured they had to drug someone surreptitiously that no one could be bribed to mate with Satan, as they had obviously hoped.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the idea of why. The idea they got her drunk, then raped her that night, and then then lied to her. I think they tried to be more maybe forthcoming with the other lady.
Kyle, this is the note that I found that
made you.
Normally, I don't laugh when I'm doing my notes
hysterically,
and I'm going through these notes, and Kyle's over there working on his, and I seen this, and I said, Kyle, I'm just going to save this for the podcast. Are you ready?
You're ready for it, Jimbo. Let's see how it goes.
Mia Farrow said in a recent interview that the actor playing the devil, Clay Tanner, was completely naked during the rape scene, dressed up in demonic makeup with vertical contact lenses. She said Tanner spent hours grinding on top of her as they were shooting the rape scene. After they were done, he got up, shook Mia's hand in a very cordial and business-type way and said, "Miss Farrow, it was a pleasure working with you."
Oh, my God.
Mia shook his hand back and said, "Thank you. He was a very lovely man."
What? What? What is wrong with you people?
So a naked man grinds on you for hours, gets up and shakes her hands like, "Miss Farrow,
See you back at the office. What in the what?
it's nice working with you."
Mia, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? Why do you...
Can't he get up and be like,
What are you saying?
"Hey, nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you.
And it didn't say he put his clothes back on, so he's probably there completely naked,
Still
shaking her hands.
naked. Had a good day. Let's do it again sometime. Like, what do you... I'm going to get hot dogs after this.
Shakes his hand back.
Why are people like this? I mean, I understand. It's probably awkward for both of them.
But I hope all them old nude people were standing around him.
All of them, everyone knew
they all come up and shake each other's hand. Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a good day. Just the nudist colony at that point. One guy over there wearing his Darth Maul makeup.
Yeah, that would make me laugh. I can just,
naked Darth Maul.
After hours of grinding,
Good work, with you.
It's nice work with you.
Nice work for you. Grinding on her for hours. Nice work on you. What does that mean?
Okay.
There's no way to not read that as creepy as everything. Just like, that's more disturbing than the movie.
Okay, let's
This
move
guy
on.
just a Satan. Somebody's nice working with him. They can
I'll see you for the sequel.
different strokes, different folk. I swear. Okay, let's move on.
Rosemary's
Jimbo.
Baby is a layered movie with many subtle touches that stand out more upon repeated viewings. Example, when Guy comes home early while Hutch is visiting, which we learn later was purposefully and was his opportunity to steal Hutch's glove for black magic and curse purposes. Right after Hutch leaves, Guy makes an excuse of wanting ice cream and leaves as well. If you listen closely, Shortly after he has left, you can hear the faint sound of a doorbell. He is ringing the doorbell of the Castavets in order to give them Hutch's glove for the black magic.
Oh, the warning kind of there. Yeah.
And last but not least, this movie began in 1965, and during the New Year's Eve party, Roma says, Happy New Year, 1966, year one. Do you know why he said that?
Why did he say it, Jimbo?
I'm asking you, do you know why?
I don't know why.
This is a nod to Antoine LaVey and the Church of Satan, since Antoine considered 1966 year one because 1966 is when they established the Church of Satan. So, little subtle things in there. So, Kyle, what's your thoughts on Rosemary's Baby?
Oh, boy. Yeah, this film is mixed in many respects to me. Yeah, like I said, because, like, you know, although I recognize the critical accomplishments of everyone involved in its creation, the acting is all top-notch, the performances are top-notch, the subject matter is handled surprisingly thoughtfully, and with a seriousness that creates an unease for both the viewer intentionally. You know, I think it's intentionally made to be kind of, you know, it's hard to watch for me. I think it's a film that's meant to make you feel uncomfortable and not feel well by the end, and it succeeds wholeheartedly on that. So for me, this is kind of like an 8 out of 10 film. There's many things that, like, if I had to dive deeper into it, I might find more objectionable, as I find the director or possibly other people even involved with this film. But overall, I think I enjoyed it for what it is and what it's trying to be, and respected on that level. And I think it's an 8 out of 10 where it's like, this is a film that, if you're like a film connoisseur and want to study film or want to explore what films can make you feel outside of enjoyment or satisfaction, Rosemary's Baby is a film to watch and to kind of feel and take in and absorb. And you will learn from it in that kind of respect, and see how, you know, see a different side of human existence, I guess, of anguish or feeling that kind of feeling and experiencing that. So I do appreciate on that level. And I think at some point I might try and revisit it again, possibly to even see, you know, deeper aspects that I can appreciate on a more foundational level and kind of give a more critical eye to it. I think this first time I was reviewing, I didn't get everything it was trying to get me, but like, it's a film that is kind of worth revisiting to kind of get like, okay, what's going on here from scene to scene to scene, and seeing what kind of like broader ideas it's trying to communicate. So this is a film that I think is going to stick with me for many respects. So on that, like I said, back on that level again, this film's 8 out of 10, where it's like, I think it's a great film, but not a film that I look forward to watching again, but I feel like I kind of feel compelled to just learn more. I mean, yeah, it's a pursuit of knowledge. So I appreciate that a little.
Was this your first time watching it?
Oh yeah, first time watching it. You know, and it didn't even occur to me until about halfway through, like, oh, this film is doing things that are on another level that I should be paying closer attention to. And so it's to the point where now, like, I might go back and watch it again and try and come in with that renewed magnification on it, like clarity, and be like, oh, okay, I need to look at this film and on its level and try and like communicate with it on that level, and trying to understand it. So hopefully I will, and it'll be good, and I appreciate on that level, and I recommend other people who are film connoisseurs and want to see a film like this go to see it for sure. That's just my kind of take on it. Jimbo, how do you think you feel about the film?
I thought it was very interesting. Number one, the way it's shot is you feel anxiety for Mia Farrow's character Rosemary. You actually feel like you're part of the movie with her. Like, yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's really well done. You take on her perspective a lot more so than many other films. Even other films that even attempted the same kind of thing. Like, so many other films will attempt to put you in the character's perspective. This film, probably, I would say, actually, maybe the best film I've ever actually seen that gave me the same feeling as Mia Farrow's character, where, like, it generally just feels incredibly uneasy there. Right. You are confused, you are worried, you are scared in her place. And that sense, that's where it works as a horror film in my mind, even though it's not quite a horror film without, they say it's a film without horror in it, but like, for everything that Mia Farrow's character is experiencing, Rosemary's experiencing, you are feeling almost horrified at the idea of everything going on. And I like how there's, if now that you think about it and you go back, like when the neighbors bring the chocolate mousse desserts over, she's like, oh, mine has like a chalky undertaste. You know what I mean?
You think about every little detail going into that film.
And now you start thinking about, So it's kind of like playing Clue by like trying to figure out what's going on. Is she really crazy? Is something happening? It's always interesting. Her husband's kind of weird in it too because he's always disappearing. You know what I mean? Like, he always has an excuse. He's working late. He's and he's a struggling actor. So now all of a sudden he's getting these big breaks. He was only in like commercials and a few other things. Now he's getting these big breaks and all that. And he didn't really want to, like the neighbors were really pushy. Like the lady would come in, hey, and you just walk around her thing, like, oh, I like what you done with the place.
Or they did like Rosemary's going out to town, and then all of a sudden she feels sick. But look who happens to hopping by. Same coincidence, but her
she's going to meet. I forgot his name. Their friend that tries to warn him about all the weird things that's happened here.
Yeah,
and she's supposed to meet him for lunch and all this, and he has something to tell her, and he ends up doesn't make it, but that lady shows up and like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm just out doing some shopping.
Or even it's like, oh, I'll make sure you work with my doctor, and the doctor's in
right.
going
He's
through
the
the
best
whole process.
New York. And
come
to find out that they're all part of this evil cult group in this apartment building with secret tunnels. And what really struck out to me though is after everything she goes through these secret tunnels, and she ends up going into the other, because she hears noises. And you can hear noises in the other apartment all thing, like when she has the baby. Because she's like, they thought that the baby had died. They tell her that.
Well, they lied to her. The baby's dead. Yeah,
and she can hear a baby crying through the walls and everything. And she goes through these tunnels, and she ends up going over there, and she ends up all these people are in there having a party, and there's a black bassinet, and it's a baby crying, and one of the ladies over there rocking it, and she's like, "You're hurting him. You're doing it too fast." And the guy's like, "Hey, stop!" And the lady's like, "Well, why is she doing here? She shouldn't be here. She's just trying to get us to take her baby or whatever." And he's like, "She's the mother. Let her do it." And so she goes over there, and she starts rocking gently. And then she has this look of compassion, like a mother does to her child, even though, and the guy's like, he's got his father's eyes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it leaves you on a cliffhanger like that because they wanted her to join them and be the mother to the baby.
Yeah.
Which it leads you to believe that she does, but according to the sequel, he's been dropped off at a brothel or something. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, as an adult, or he's been kidnapped. I think the plot synopsis says that like they were trying to escape from the cult, her and the child, at a young age, and then later he ends up being abandoned to a brothel in Southwest. So that's like,
you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
but I'm going to agree with you. It's probably an 8, maybe an 8.5, just for. And I wouldn't consider it a horror movie. It's like an uneasy.
Yeah, an easy
suspense. I guess a suspense movie, thriller is what I would call it.
Yeah.
But very interesting movie, very well shot, very well acted. There is some nudity in this film, so be forewarned about that.
And definitely adult themes for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But just trying to piece it all together, like the different anagrams for like the book she gets, and she pulls out the Scrabble, dumps all the pieces around, and puts all the words out. And then when she finally puts 2 and 2 together, the one person she thought she could confide in was this doctor, the other doctor. She goes to him, and he's like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And he makes a phone call, and here comes her husband and somebody else to drag her back because it's a big ring of conspiracy. Yeah. And, something like that could happen in the real world. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing about this whole film is like it doesn't feel like out of the realm of possibility. Like the idea of giving birth to the Antichrist, that's kind of, but the idea that someone would think you're going to give birth to the Antichrist and like has a cult kind of like mindset around it and has other people working with them to that degree, like it's horrifying, but it doesn't seem like the most out of the realm possibility. And nothing actually happens in the film that's like, cars aren't flying in the air. There's nothing like terrible happen. The person who goes blind, something like that. Like those are like unrealistic things, but also things
they could happen.
Things you wouldn't believe couldn't happen. Things you would believe couldn't. You wouldn't believe like, oh yeah, that could happen. To a degree. So it felt realistic on that level, which in turn makes it all the more kind of terrifying. The idea that you could be entrapped like that too. So yeah, big film.
I'll probably give it 8.5. But one thing I want to end on my thoughts is, if you are somebody that has struggled with rape or sexual assault, please contact your local law enforcement. We know this is just a movie, but we also know that there are real-world issues going on. And the last thing we'd want to do is for somebody to stay in a relationship like that, or if you've been traumatically traumatized, just reach out to somebody, get help. So I want to make sure that we did touch on that and not just say it's just a movie, because there are some real bad people in this world. So,
I'm trying to look at what's the actual hotline you call for like help and those kind of things like that. The RAIN hotline. Let me see if I get the number on there. If I can actually put that on there for the. I think it's like Yeah, 1-800-656-HOPE from the number to call there for National Sexual Hotline for free, confidential 24/7 help on there kind of thing for rape, abuse, incest, and National Association.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we do talk a lot about a lot of movies, but we also are human beings and we care about people too. So, well, once again, thanks for listening. If you'd like to reach out to us, we are the Tragedy Cinema Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to see us on join the Facebook group, we are the Tragedy Cinema Podcast. Just search for us. It'll ask you for the names of the hosts, which is Jimbo and Kyle. But if you don't put that on there, we'll still accept you. I'm sure one of the moderators will. What'd you do, Kyle? Did you lose the clapboard?
I did lose the clapboard. I was just going to clap and not say anything so no one would notice, but now we acknowledged it, so that's good. Oh, it's right here under the paper.
I was going to say, it's right in front of you, Kyle, right in front of your notes.
Exactly. It was hiding in front of me all along.
Yeah, but thanks for listening. So after we did a heavy movie like this, we figured we will lighten it up. And Kyle did not like this next movie, so this will be fun. I love it. He hates it. But it is Weekend at Bernie's, and I have a fun story about that too. So you'll find out why. So
okay.
With that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.